Welcome back to Lead Off, live from New Orleans, Louisiana. Allie LaForce, Doug Gottlieb. Let's continue the conversation about the Super Bowl with a guy who's played in 3 Super Bowls. Fair enough?
Not too bad of a guest we have here, Charlie Batch. Thanks for joining us. You played in Super Bowl 40, 43, and 45. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay, so you know what it's like, what these players are going through in terms of preparation, you know, excitement, trying to stay calm at the same time, stick to the game plan. How much of an advantage is it having that extra week of preparation, and what are they going through right now?
The extra week of preparation is really good because now it allows you to focus on the game plan while you're at home. Talk about what the expectations are heading into this week, and when you come in on Monday, now all of a sudden the media is reminding you are now entering the Super Bowl territory. That allows you now to kind of get at ease, relax, tour the facilities on where you're going to practice at during the course of the week. Now allow you to get a chance to go out and enjoy the city on Monday night and then prepare for media day on Tuesday.
People seem to forget because you've been, heck, a quarterback in the NFL since I believe Nixon was in office. I'm kidding, of course. But you played your rookie. You played when you were just a young player.
Right.
You're watching Colin Kaepernick, and he, like you, came off the bench and took over a team. You've done this several times over. What's that like? What's that experience like in terms of trying to command the respect of a locker room?
I mean, it's tough. I mean, but one of the things for him going through last year, playing a lot in the preseason, for him to be able to go out there and now prove to the players and the coaching staff if his number was called, he was going to be able to produce. And you can see him doing that as the middle of the season went on. His number was called, and that's kind of makes Coach Harbaugh look like a genius here now heading into the Super Bowl.
What is it about, you know, backup quarterbacks and the amount of calm you all have? I mean, Kaepernick said, you know, being frustrated or being nervous, that's just a lack of preparation. And he just seems so confident and calm, and like he always has been. That's a quality that you have to possess as a backup.
You have to, because the coaching staff, they believe in what you're doing, but at the same time, as a backup, you're preparing for a game that you might not get in. So all of a sudden, but you know, so now you don't want your flaws to be exposed. And for him to be able to go and prove week after week, for him to be able to lead the team, I mean, that speaks volume for him for as far as what his preparation was heading into each week.
You're arguably the perfect guest to have on, not just because of your years of experience in the NFL, not just because of your play when you were a very young player, but also you hold the keys to the kingdom. You know the blueprint to beat the Ravens. You come off that loss. You come off that loss to Cleveland. Chris Carter calls you out. People are saying you can't do it, and you go and beat the Baltimore Ravens. What's the key to beating the Ravens?
So I think for them, I mean, we play them twice a year, so we're very familiar with, as far as what they do. They're decisive. They go out there, literally try to fool you on one side, bring the blitz from the other. I mean, Coach did a great job as far as the game plan, but the key to beating Baltimore, you cannot be in third and long situation, because that's where you're going to get a lot of those funky looks, and now it plays to their advantage. So if you're able to stay in medium and short situations, now you're able to control the game.
Do you like San Francisco's style? They're running this pistol. They're running some triple option. They're rolling Kaepernick out a lot.
And the Ravens' defense is a little bit older, so that unpredictability, you know, when it comes to the 49ers, how do you think they'll handle that?
Well, it's going to be tough because this is something that they were prepared for. I mean, obviously, they saw Griffin when they played them the following week after we did, but he ended up getting injured in that game, so you don't see a lot of it. One key for Baltimore right now will be Dennis Dixon playing quarterback for the scout team, because now he gives you that look of where Kaepernick is going to be able to do for leading up into this week.
Of course, the former Steeler backup.
Yes.
Dennis, it all comes back. Let's bring it all back around to the Steelers. Last year, the defense was old. They started to rework it. This year, the season didn't get off to a great start, and one reason was you didn't have Mike Wallace in camp early. Give me your thoughts on the likelihood that Mike Wallace returns as a free agent.
It's going to be tough. I mean, he's going to command, or he wants to demand, top dollar. And for him, obviously, he didn't have the start of the season on what he wanted. But you can see he started to get comfortable more and more as the season went on. For him, I mean, I would, you know, he has to do his best for him and his family. We would love him back in Pittsburgh. Hopefully this whole thing plays itself out and we get a chance to see number 17 continue to wear the Steeler uniform.
Now, the Steelers could release Rashard Mendenhall, and this was a season where you had the fewest rushing yards since 2003. So that's obviously an area of concern. They wanted to see more production out of him. In your opinion, you know, what was he missing this year, and where do you think that he could fit in the future?
Well, I think people tend to forget that he did tear his ACL in the last game of the regular season. So we knew he was going to start off slow. He was on the PUP, was taken off the PUP list at the beginning of the season, and he started off. He had a couple strong games there, but we don't know how that knee held up. We don't know if it wore down on him. We just know that he was trying to go out there and do the best that he could possibly do. But when you have Mr. Rooney, the owner, talking about you need to run the football more, Obviously, that has to change the way that Coach Tomlin is thinking or the way Coach Haley is thinking. I hope, selfishly for me, that Rashard Mendenhall is back because he is a really, really good talent. And if he's not, he will command a lot of attention in the free agent market.
Let me just get one thought. You won 2 of these things. What's your lasting memory? 20 years from now, when you're sitting around a dinner table and you're watching the Super Bowl, what's your lasting memory of winning a Super Bowl?
Hoisting that Lombardi and doing something that really, when you're passing that sticky Lombardi around, kissing that trophy, everybody celebrating, taking pictures, and you're in that locker room. I mean, it's a very, very special moment because that's something that really, as a team, that is the ultimate goal as far as what you want to accomplish heading into the season.
Charlie Batch, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Have fun down here. All right, when we come back, why are we talking about Conference USA hoops? Well, because this happened right here. Take a look. Punches thrown, and we got to go off the grid.